Emily Craft, welcome to the Montclair Pod.
Thank you so much for having me.
I stumbled upon your page on Instagram as we were looking for just story leads for this episode, and so pleased to learn what Craftivists is up to. Tell us about Craftivists and kind of what you have going on to support our immigrant community.
So, Craftivists is brand new as of a week ago. So, it really is a grassroots movement. In terms of my history and the group's history, I've been a knitting teacher at Yarnia in Montclair for about 3 years. I don't actively teach anymore there, but the Craftivist group was really born out of one of my knitting classes. It was a group of moms from the community that were involved in the same PTA group as well and decided to learn to knit. So they came to my class. We kept in touch over about the last year and kind of started talking about what was happening in the news recently. And I threw out the idea of having a community knit night. And what's great about this group of women, I think that there's maybe 7 or 8 of us, is that it's a group that's very well connected, that brings a lot of different areas of expertise. And so we decided to just throw together a community event.
And walk me through the event. What's it going to be like? I know you're also fundraising for the MFEE. Is this one of many events you're hoping to host over the next several months?
My initial vision, and if it were just me doing this, it would probably be 20 people in a yarn store knitting for a cause, which is important and valuable for sure. But I think the value of bringing together, again, all of these women from different industries with different areas of expertise is that we've been able to grow it a bit beyond that. So one thing that I do want to make clear for anybody who has seen the invitation or who wants to come, by the way, the event is Thursday, February 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Lackawanna Station. It's open to the community. We will have activities for people that are not knitters or crocheters. So for anybody in the community that wants to help and come donate and frankly, get out some of our emotions and feelings around what's happening with immigration crackdowns, this is a great place to come and do it.
Like, you see what's happening in Minneapolis and elsewhere. Talk about the emotions. What are the conversations you and your friends and your neighbors are having around this, and the fear and all of it?
I'll certainly speak for myself, and I can speak a little bit for the group in terms of what we've talked about. I do think that something that has united the group is that we're all moms, and we all see that this immigration crackdown is having on children and school children, specifically in Minneapolis, but also elsewhere. I've personally been very reminded of COVID, with everybody kind of going to virtual learning and being afraid to leave their houses. And that's certainly something that I don't want to see to come. I don't want our area to experience. And I know that that's the same for the larger group as well. And that's partly why our event, our Craftivist event on the 19th, is also supporting MFEE, because it's a great local organization focused on equality and education in Montclair for all students. I think that as well for our group, we have a member of the group who is a Minneapolis native. She still has her close family lives there. She usually goes and visits once a month. She hasn't visited her family because it feels militarized there. And so there's definitely some very close connection to what's happening in Minneapolis for us.
How did you get involved in this to begin with? Like, what is your background beyond, the work you're doing with this group? Give us a sense of that.
I mean, my background is honestly technology. I was a tech recruiter and a executive recruiter for 10 years. My husband was also in technology for 15 years. Something that we've noticed is that as time has gone on, we don't align so much with the tech community anymore. I left tech in 2021, and I have 7-year-old twin boys, so that was plenty for me to deal with for a couple of years. I'm also a lifelong knitter and crocheter. And so Yarnia was an opportunity for me to do something a little bit more community focused. I've taught lots of classes there. I've taught probably, I want to say, hundreds of people to knit in the community at this point. And I think something that's really interesting about knitting and crochet in general is that it has a reputation of being for, grannies or being for the older generation. And I think what many people who are outside the knitting and crochet community don't realize is that it is a community that is incredibly wide reaching. It's a community that's, many of us remember the pink pussy hats from 2017. That was a knitting and crochet project that was spearheaded by the knitting community. Likewise, right now, we're seeing something with the Melt the Ice hat. So a yarn store in Minneapolis published a pattern for a red hat. The Melt the Ice hat is a red pointed cap, and it is a resurrection of a style of hat that people wore in the 1940s to resist Nazism and resist the rise of fascism. And so with this hat, it actually became illegal to wear it at a certain point during the Nazi takeover and invasion. So a yarn store in Minneapolis resurrected this hat, made a knitting pattern for it. It's paid, it's something like $5. All proceeds go to benefit Minneapolis organizations that are helping immigrant families. And as of now, and I think the hat pattern has been live for 2 weeks, they've raised $650,000 so far. Wow. Yeah. Wow. They just posted a funding update last night. So when I suggested a knit night or a crochet night, this was really the idea behind it was, we're already kind of galvanizing effort in the knitting community to create craftivist projects. Let's knit this hat and donate to the cause. And again, the group that I'm working with was like, hey, we can make this bigger. And I think within the Montclair community specifically, there's a lot of pent up anger and rage and a lot of feeling helpless and not knowing where to put our energy. And I think an event like this is a great way to get together, be reminded that we're together as a community, and especially in an age where there is surveillance, where there is technology, where there is an assault on what's truth and what's false and what's AI and what's real. There's something really powerful in my mind about how analog getting together is in person, how analog creating craft projects is in person. It exists kind of outside of the capitalist system because we make things with our hands. I'll get off my soapbox if you want me to.
We love it.
I mean, look at your last name. I mean,
I'm married, but my husband's last name is Malaguti, and you don't give up a last name like Craft.
I mean, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Especially in the work that you're doing and potential access to cheese. I don't know, I guess.
I had a friend in high school say that my name sounded like a celebrity name, and I've been riding that wave for like 20 years.
Well, we're so grateful to have you in our community. Thank you so much for organizing this. We will be sure to share it with our audience. Again, everybody, that's Thursday, February 19th at Lackawanna Plaza. No need to be a knitter. All are welcome. Meet some cool neighbors, support a great cause, and we'll be sure to come back anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.